Oh, I did not turn on the music. My bad. Here. All right. Hello, this is Wright Voices. I'm your host, and right behind me are my two co-hosts, Kirby and Sterlex. Hello, Kirby and Sterlex. Hi, and hold on a moment. Oh, not that. Mm-hmm. Oh, there we are. Oh, what? Signal. Guess I had it press it again. Ah, there we are. Right, there we are. I think. See if friend is there. Hey there.
Hey.
Right. Let's see here. Oh, right. Screen share. Should be there eventually, maybe.
It's loading up right now.
All right.
Good.
Right. This is Dry Oasis once more, and I'm joined by my co-host Kirby and Sterlex are in the background, and joining me for this today's adventure will be Fuzzy Cow. Say hello, Fuzzy Cow.
Hello.
Right.
Good to see everybody on the weekend. Having some relaxing times, I guess.
Yep. Right. Gonna press me the button.
So we're in the middle of a trial, right?
Yes, we are.
And this one's a little ironic, not ironic, but neat. Because it has a new character. It's not Maya. I don't quite remember the name.
Oh, let's see here. The new assistant's name is Emma Sky, and her sister's name is Lana Sky. And Lana Sky is on trial for killing a detective in the prosecutor's parking lot with Edgeworth's knife in the toolbox, and near his. That was also in hidden in the trunk of his car, but there was also...
He was murdered in the police station at the same time, right?
the police department's evidence room.
Yeah.
And we know who... And we've seen the suspect, but we haven't seen the full details of the crime or so on, so we're going to get into that today.
Awesome.
Yep. Oh, and the detectives and a lot of Sky were involved in this huge serial killing that happened 2 years ago, which also featured Edgeworth, which also coincided with the rumors going on.
There's a lot of fallout from that case.
Yeah, pretty
Angel
much.
Starr got fired from her position as detective.
Right? Jake
It was Edgeworth's first case.
Yep.
There were two other detectives, one of which was like a cowboy. I want to say it's like John Marshall or something.
Jake Marshall, who is now demoted to patrolman.
Yep. And then the third one was our victim. I don't remember his name. That's
Bruce Goodman.
Thank you. So I think we're going to learn a lot about this case.
Right. Anyways, gonna load the selected save data where we were in the beginning.
February 24th, 9:41 a.m. District Court, defendant lobby number 2.
So, what do you think, Mr. Wright? I think the prosecution is as confused as we are. After all, the victim was murdered in 2 different... Oh wait, this is you. My bad.
Lana?
Yep.
The victim was murdered in two different places at the same time. And suspect arrested in each crime scene.
Lana!
Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize. Where was this murder?
I hope they didn't hold you too long for questioning.
We just finished that. I'm used to all nighters now.
So, how'd it go?
It says Mr. Wright suspects the police are suspects. Figured much so I suspect everybody.
A plea bargain? What do you mean by that?
I told the truth on my side. They wouldn't make me capital punishment. That's right.
But Lana, don't tell me you...
Much to my regret. I'm as much a dark as they are.
Miss Sky. We found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room. They belonged to Officer Jake Marshall.
What kind of trace evidence?
Bloodstained fingerprints, to be exact. That's the trump card I have on my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you? In order to defend my sister, you're going to accuse Mr. Marshall? You have to play the cards we're dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Sky?
You have to, Mr. Wright. Well, February 24th, 10 a.m. District Courtroom number 9. Court is now in session. The trial is on a sky.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Prosecution is I'm afraid you'll have to clarify. It takes 30 minutes by car to reach this police department from the prosecutor's office. Through the both places at the same time. But that's not physically possible, is it? What's more, I bear the victim for evidence just disappeared.
Yes, the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. Wow, this is one messed up trial.
One of my prosecutors is to present partial evidence. Hey, I was in evidence relating to the murder at the police department. So, I believe the way we should proceed will reveal itself.
No, that's what sets Mr. Edgeworth. No, that's what sets Mr. Edgeworth apart. He sounds so on top of things, even though he doesn't know what's going on himself. That's supposed to be an admirable trait?
Very well. Let the trial resume. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness of the day to the stand. For its first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department. The suspect? You mean the so-called murderer?
Rebel. Boy. Things are getting wild from the get-go.
Witness, state name and occupation. Yes, sir. I am Officer Mike Meekin, sir. My occupation is that would be murderer, sir. So you're telling me you're a professional killer? Sir, it was me, sir. I'm the one who did it. I never killed anyone again, sir. You gotta believe me, sir. Actually, sir, I'm what you would call part of the younger generation, sir.
Talking about my generation.
A person whose actions adults can't possibly comprehend. Please, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, sir. Officer Mingus. Yes, sir. Give us your report of crime. Consider that in order. Yes, sir. As you wish. After all, I am part of the generation must be told what to do, sir.
You can't fault him for a lack of enthusiasm.
This testimony.
Crime report, sir.
Although I might not be able to sign guard the evidence from day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen rushed into the room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. Right. Win. I did it. After that, I passed out. Now another officer smacked me awake. So the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you? Do unto others before they do unto you. That's Lincoln's motto, sir. I see. Did you fainted and a colleague helped you regain consciousness? Yes, sir. He knocked me upside the head, sir. Very well. The defense begin its cross-examination.
What I need here is more info to work with. So a bunch of pressing. Mr. Meekin, the General Affairs Department, do you not?
Yes, sir. I'm in charge of hiring new recruits, sir.
Nice. Now there's a scary thought.
Which makes no office special tasks. No. I was in charge of guarding the badge, sir. Badger? Yes, sir. A lovely police staff created chief deck, sir.
Oh boy, this thing.
I was ensure it went well during the internal process. That was my sole mission for the day, sir. I see. Sounds like a very important mission. After the road ceremony for that day, there were so many people around. That I relocated the badge to the evidence room. Oh. So that's why you put the evidence room. Tell us, what did you see?
In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct?
Precisely, sir. I have one right here around my neck.
So then, your ID number should be listed on here, right?
There it is. I found it. It's the one right here. Could you read yourself the number? Yes, sir. It's 4999596. That's my number, sir.
I see. Huh? But the number 4989596 can be used twice.
Please explain, witness. It's no real mystery, sir. First time, I'm going to relocate the bad evidence room. And the second time, when I went over to go get him after he settled down. See. So during the second time. Yes, sir. That was when I spotted the man on the security scan.
ID card record added to the ID card record. So you were attacked? Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you?
It was a knife, sir. A knife. Knife on you? What happened then? Well, you charging in on him, he looked surprised. I was.
You weren't exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into.
That's when I reacted, sir. I swung my arm, and I was struggling to detain him. That's how I got this gash on my hand.
Maybe if you just kept your cool, your hand wouldn't be.
When I saw blood dripping down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar.
What exactly do you mean when you said you did it?
I know, look tight, but I'm really kung fu films. Man, let's guard down, so I snatched the knife from him.
You took his knife?
I spun him around and performed the disarming maneuver. I made sure to close my eyes like a man.
I see. You must have been desperate.
Next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in sea of my blood. And then the next thing I knew. Yes? He punched me right in my face, sir. So I passed out. Another officer smacked me away.
Hold it. About what time did you regain consciousness?
No offense, sir. How am I supposed to know that? I was unconscious.
Oh, right.
He was around 5. He hit me right in the head, too. I woke up crying, tears of pain. That's true. When I came around, though, I made sure to finish my mission, sir.
Mission?
Yes, sir. The blue badger, sir. I returned to the entrance before things got out of hand.
Well, we can all rest easy now.
I believe we now have a fairly accurate picture of what happened. Yes, Your Honor. Only one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim?
He's got a point.
Yes, Officer Minton? With regard to that, sir. Take a look at this. It was sent to my jail cell. Chief Gunn, believe there was just me this morning, sir.
Yep, I believe he delivered it to him just this morning.
The chief?
Delivered it?
What is this? A videotape? Yes, sir. Absolutely right, sir. A videotape, sir. It contains footage from the security camera in the evidence room. Objection. What? But I specifically asked if there was such a tape. I was told that the mistake erased. That's quite a mistake. Just doing what I'm told, sir. The only thing I'm really good at.
Looks like communication with the police department is as good as ever.
Well, let's have a look.
Okay.
Show us the video of you murdering the victim. Oh, please stop using that word murder, sir. It scares me.
A video of a real murder. Just what are we going to get ourselves into? Oh boy. I wish I could speed this part up, but I really can't. And your blue badger. See you later, blue badger. Hey there, Detective Goodman. Hello there, blue badger. Hello there, Bruce Goodman. Goodbye, blue badger. Hello there, Meekins. Hello there, blue badger again. Oh, wow. Goodbye, blue badger. Hello there, blue badger. Hello there, Meekins. Goodbye, blue badger. You're as perplexed as I am, Phoenix. And Edgeworth.
Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within us? What the hell is that ringing piece of plywood? Sir, that's the pride and joy of the entire criminal affairs department, sir. It's the Blue Badger, sir.
Why am I not surprised this isn't going smoothly? Security video. Video from the security camera placed in the evidence room. Added to the court record.
Yes. Well. Anyway. The tape seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter someone in the evidence room, and sort of activity did take place. Your Honor, instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage, the witness's testimony will suffice. Is that all right with you, Officer Minkins?
Yes, sir. As you wish, sir.
Mystery man.
His face can't be clearly seen in the video. But there's no question the other person is good, sir. I mean, he opened the locker required Detective Vince's fingerprints to be. The locker's open, no question Detective Vince's locker, sir. It must be him. No one else could have unlocked it.
What's this about fingerprint? Each detective has been given a lock equipped with a fingerprint-activated lock. These locks ensure that lockers can only be opened by the detective it belongs to. Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have had to have been Detective Goodman. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination.
I don't know where this cross-examination will lead. Everything begins with contradictions. That's where I have to start. Tell me, were you able to get a good look at him? With the face of the man who attacked you with the knife?
Sir, you must label people such as men or women, or having seen or not seen the face. I believe it would be classified as the latter.
Latter? But you were standing right in front of him, were you not?
More. You are source far, aren't you?
Oh, yes, sir. I didn't look at face, sir. Not the kind of guy who looks directly at you when you're talking. You see.
Yeah, that's a good trait for a police officer.
Sir, I have charged him. I would bet my badge on it.
But you don't know that for sure, do you? You never actually saw Detective Goodman's face.
Well, I suppose we might say that. You must label people as seen or not seen.
His face can't be idiot. Only people got
Why is it looking at me? I had nightmare stars disturbing before. Hey! Having shown a questionable video at best. You are not the best of those. Now please be more certain when you testify. Yes, sir. Plain bad knife on you. That's why you are positive it's hit.
Both these lockers, is there no other way to open them?
No, sir. I tried all much kinds of methods. The only response to registered things, sir.
What kind of methods he's tried?
The man opened the lock, which only responds to his registered fingerprints. Then he must be the person that lock was assigned to.
Exactly my point, sir. And this too.
How do you know that information?
I've heard rumors, sir. People in the know, sir.
People in the know?
The workers of the department cafeteria, sir. Keep me informed. They also listen to my romantic trouble, sir. For the record, the open block did indeed belong to Mr. Stewart. Verify that relationship will rely on your sources. So, the victim opened block for his own fingerprints.
However, the most important detail is not shown in this video. The man's face.
Sir, if I may say something, sir. Please do. After all, you're the one being examined. I don't understand why the man's face is so important in the case, sir. I mean, it was the hand that you opened the fingerprints lock. It was the hand that tried to thrust the knife into my body, sir. My unsettled state can testify enough to this, sir. Yes, you have a point. The footage doesn't lie. That is, unless the films can find a problem with it.
Mr. Wright, let's check the court record again. Probably so. Regarding the video contained on this tape, there is one thing in particular that seems rather strange.
Strange?
This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not have been Detective Goodman.
What? This video contains a contradiction. Objection. No, I have a proposal. Yes, Mr. Edward. If I propose we leave the defense. We have evidence. Point out to us the alleged contradiction in the video.
Who would want me to point it out?
Very well. Proposal is accepted. Let us further inspect this evidence. I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us the contradiction you speak of.
You have to point out a problem in the video? This is the first time I've ever had to do that. You can do it, Mr. Wright. It's set up so you can fast forward, rewind, or pause the video. Gameplay. Just take a good look and be sure to point out the right thing.
Please don't play it. Too many times. I can't stand watching this video.
Same here, Meekins. How did this guy ever become a police officer?
Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Where's the contradiction indicated?
You could have now been Detective Goodman. There's a light there. Hey, Blue Badger. You know what? I'm just going to rewind. I'm not going to stay right there with you. The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Officer Meekins.
Sir, do you mean me, sir?
As I understand it, the locker apparatus works like this. When you press the handle, the sensor reads your fingerprint. If it's a match, the light turns on and the lock is released.
According to very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir.
If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture. I cannot fast forward this. I Notice the lights.
What's this? It's already lit.
Oh yeah, I forgot it's 4:20. I didn't know when to make that joke, but I forgot it was 4:20. Precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle.
Order. What is the meaning of this?
It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime.
Objection. It's a locker that's controlled by an electronic system. When the door is shut, sensors trigger. And the locker is automatic lock. Oh, I know. It was broken down. Of course. Express. That not by Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction. Oh, well. Just goes to show. No, keep the mouth shut. Right? Do you have that explanation?
Me, Your Honor.
Yes. Why was the lock unlocked?
Me, Your Honor. Yes, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Fish, scientific investigator? Huh? Oh, maybe something like jam this system sensor? Something jam the sensor, say. There's something else that seems out of place in this video. Yeah, I thought so too. There's gotta be another clue somewhere in this footage.
Very well. Let's inspect the video once more. The locker wasn't locked, Mr. Wright. Please point out the cases.
What's this? Please watch closely. This is the continuation of the part I showed you earlier. What, no music? Alright. That's fine enough. The Blue Badger theme gets annoying after a while.
What's this? Something like the locker. That's it. It's been my experience things fall out of doors are open. I often fall out of a great distance from the car door, sir.
Objection! We can't be sure that item was completely inside the locker to begin with.
What do you mean?
The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door?
Inserted?
Great gameplay, people. You had just to do this again. This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor.
Oh, I understand now, sir. It's just like my tie. You're right. It's stuck in the door when I get out of the control vehicle, sir. Instead of the door closing, I chokes it. But the object has to be extremely thin in the door. No. We also have to lock the electrical currents. We need to then insulate it. Yes, an insulator. But the crime scene.
There just might have been something that fits the description.
That's it. By insulator, you don't mean.
I think I finally got this figured out.
Very well. Will the defense please present relevant evidence? What was this insulator stuck on the door?
No.
Rubber glove, right?
Oh, right. But, I found this near the locker, a thin rubber glove.
But we can't be sure that was the victim's locker.
It has a tag that says SL9 incident. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker. But that isn't the case. The lit lamp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is it not so, Officer Meekins?
Where's that sound? Order. We are to believe the victim. What's that? Was not Detective Good. Objection. Do not be misled. What do you mean, sir? The defense is merely demonstrating possibility and nothing more. The victim video was the screen. Prosecution more testimony to this.
What?
Officer Meekins, please testify about this. Sir. Me, sir. I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. ... Oh, you mean that, sir? Of course, sir.
Is this a joke?
Very well. Begin your testimony.
Green Man Part 2.
There's one thing that proves the man was Goodman. Yes. To which the evidence one uses their ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. From the time of the crime, the victim used his ID card. An ID card record. I see. I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor. The ID used at 514 is that of the victim. Just before the crime. Yes. Without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transferal. Why were there so few people using this room? The particulars of the evidence room is used for storing certain special cases.
Special cases?
Essentially violent crimes involving police staff.
Extremely violent crimes? No way. Now I'm thinking about Extreme Championship Wrestling. I don't know why. Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end. Me too, although it doesn't make much of a difference.
There are only a few cases up for transferal there, and most were cleared up by noon. Right. I see. Now let us move on to the cross-examination.
Right, now, I basically had to press because that was the only option by then, but now it's a present, so...
One other thing that could come in, sir? This is fine. We're perfectly fine with the fact that he has a card. We might want to show them that he has a card.
Objection! Wait one moment, Officer Meekins.
I'm not good at waiting, sir.
I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene.
That makes sense.
When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene. The underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important claim regarding the victim's ID card.
Item report. So you have completed.
But it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report.
Something ID card, right?
I can't say for sure, but there is a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card.
Order. So now, what does all this mean?
It can only mean one thing. It doesn't even require much thought. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card.
Order. Does the prosecution have any response? I have only one thing to say for the defense. Bravo, Mr. Wright.
Bravo.
Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime, the man in evidence Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the lock in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victims lost their key card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright?
Yes. What's he up to?
That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video were fake, then the murder evidence is also fake. In other words, security camera does not show the incident of the murder.
That is... Well, I guess that's right.
Something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago you seemed content to be pointing your finger around.
This isn't going to end well.
Well. Seems finally realized. That you're down to make the proof. Explain yourself, Mr. Edward. The defense is already done explaining for me. The victim in this video is fake, which means the murder did not take place. At the police station at 5:15 the day of the crime. So the real crime could only take place at one location, the underground parking lot. At the prosecutor's office, the murder is Miss Lana Sky, defendant. The evidence is held. Trustworthy witness. Observe the moment the defendant used the murder weapon.
I knew that testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning.
The activity and the evidence still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim, Officer Lincoln encountered? Where did this person disappear to? However, the trial purpose is to examine only the murderer at Griffin. Just so, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright, I have to do something or else Lana. What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess? Objects as usual. Objection! One moment, Your Honor.
What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven.
Of course not. I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap.
What are you talking about?
This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. Alright? 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 Okay. Alright. Okay. However, it cannot be said that it is unrelated to the murder in the parking lots. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter.
Yes, Your Honor. If this court examine further other witnesses, will be necessary. The prosecution prepared. Prosecution considered these primarily unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses.
This might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Mr. Wright, do you mean, Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness?
Who do you have in mind?
Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room.
Prosecution. Request to hear versus name. Before deciding whether now to comply. Very well. Mr. Wright. First person we would have. That's not bad. What is it name?
Well, we're going to call out a certain Marshall to stand. Take that, Officer Jake Marshall.
Why him?
Can't let Edgeworth know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I don't think he should hear what he has to say.
Prosecution agrees with innocence expressed. He's responsible for our group. Sure. Fortunately, he works in the police department. You shouldn't have more than 20 minutes to bed. Very well. Court is to take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during that time? We will, Your Honor. Court is now in recess. October 24th, 11:32 a.m. District Court, lobby number 2. Stop.
What do you mean?
Call Jake Team figured everything out.
I haven't figured anything out. Lana, you're the one who knows everything.
Emma?
You always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you.
Don't call. Ask for his practice.
Be so cold. Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me?
I'm hoping not interrupting anything, pals.
The awkwardness. Good old gumshoe. Oh, you.
Oh, yes I am. I'll come back later.
Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it?
Got a lot of Top it up. Calm me here. I've seen happy people like you. You better. Hey. I didn't see you here. Chief Officer Staff. That's okay. So have brought me what I asked? This is me here. My apologies. She's mine. Cheers. I was forced to learn Wright's name. What?
My name?
Never in a million years. Thought it was Could I bother to find the SL9 class? Then send them my new. Talk crazy.
That's all mine incident. But Lana, that's...
Right. One so I had brought here. Here. Might do well. Read them. I can't believe you, the chief prosecutor, witness the case.
This guy was a witness? I saw 9 incident files. Files for the Joe Dark killing solved 2 years ago. See, from honest guy.
Take it from me. You don't want anything to do with this.
Dot.
Well, what? Now I've brought you stuff. You're just gonna ignore me?
Emma? But why? Why is your name in here? What? My name's in there? I don't know. Unless... No, it couldn't be. Lana, this SL9 incident, is that...
The case classification makes the police filed it. Case classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago. The rest of the world knew as the Dark Killers.
Joe Dark killings. Joe Dark? No, no, Lana. That's over with. No! Emma, wait. She ran away.
You know what? I remember. I got speed somewhere. Sorry, pal, I'm out of here.
Jake Marshall, Angel Starr, Damon Kent, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence.
Knowing you might be able to figure it out.
Knowing you, knowing me, knowing me, knowing you. This time is real, it's just surreal, it's just surreal.
Let's get back to try. That's not fun.
Better take a good look at this file. To be continued. And I thought it was going to be a little bit longer. All right, let's take let's see here. Let's see. 5-minute break.
Sounds good.
All right. Hey, wait a minute. So you're into wrestling too, right? Is that right, Fuzzy Cow?
I am. I do not believe this is being audio captured.
That's strange. I have it on. Let's see here. I'm pretty sure that I
could
could.
be wrong.
I do have you being recorded on my stream. That's
All
for
right.
sure.
Give me a second. You are correct. It is being recorded. My mistake.
All right. So
I was watching wrestling. Specifically Raw, WWE Raw.
All right. So if you know about wrestling and all that, you didn't know about the story of the Von Erichs, or maybe you already did, but you just didn't know that the Iron Claw movie came out in December.
I do not know the story about the Von Erichs
Huh.
or the Iron Claw.
They are WWE Hall of Famers after all.
All right. Well, I can't say that I've been watching wrestling very closely or for very long. I started pandemic era, so 2019.
I guess that makes sense.
The Drew McIntyre Championship.
Yeah,
That's what I was watching.
Yeah, I started about 2014 myself, sometime after SummerSlam. Man, that was nearly 10 years ago. Can't believe how far wrestling has come since WrestleMania 30.
Yeah. Lots of changes in the business. That's kind of their job, I guess.
Yep. Anyways.
So I'm getting echo on your side. My voice being echoed.
Oh, that's strange. It didn't put like any kind of filters or anything. Let's see here.
All right, so I'm gonna do some checking just to see if there's a difference.
All right.
About that.
Right.
Yeah, I think there's an echo.
Maybe there has something to do with attack and release time? Guess that could be it.
Sorry to trouble you so far deep into the stream.
No problem.
Yeah, I watched a lot of Drew McIntyre. I watched his kind of entrance to like Hankey's got a lot of promise. There was a lot of fights with Sheamus. That was like the thing because Drew McIntyre and Sheamus they would beat up on each other.
Yeah.
And they were good matches.
Let's see here.
The wall of TV.
Oh, I see what the problem is. I have like two speakers going on at the same moment. I'm so sorry about that. I didn't realize that until just now. Hold on a moment.
Yep.
All right, thank you. It should be better on your end now. I'm sorry.
Perfect. Thank you.
Right? All I had to do was mute one. I didn't see that before. It's just interesting.
All right.
Right? I think we're good to go then.
All right. So, what you said that you started watching in 2014?
Yeah, after SummerSlam, I believe when Brock Lesnar became the champion after
Yeah,
after
he
some
does
time.
that too often, in my opinion.
Actually, it was 2014, so just around when he was becoming bigger and better than ever.
Yeah,
Before then, he was losing from time to time, like to Triple H and John Cena, but that was at his peak moment since his first run. We didn't know that him beating the streak and him F5ing John Cena 16 times would make him rise to the level that he was. And we didn't know back then how big that push was back then.
yeah.
I mean, ever since then, at least like a few people have toppled him, like
Roman Reigns did it. I know that.
Seth Rollins, I believe Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania 36, maybe 35 was when he lost to Seth Rollins the year before.
Well, I'm kind of glad that the Beast is behind us. I'm not a super big fan of that guy, Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of him, but I do think that his domination in his 2014 and so on run was probably some of the best. Not all of his matches were good, but his matches, especially at Royal Rumble 2015, WrestleMania 31, his, let's see, I think it was SummerSlam or Survivor Series match against Goldberg, his match against AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan were really good. I mean, among the big squashes, at least a few have given made the Beast go on and so on. But I didn't like how he beat Kofi Kingston and Big E in squash matches. And I hope that if Xavier Woods ever gets a title, that I actually, now that Brock's suspended for a while, hopefully Kofi gets a belt and it doesn't get prematurely ended thanks to Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. I don't think Woods is ever going to get a belt. That's not where Woods, it's not what he wants, I don't think. Like, he's going to get tag team, right?
Yeah, I know.
New Day has gotten tag team.
Yeah, but all of eh, all of the New Days besides him have gotten the World Championship title, and even though it's kind of cursed what happened to them, those were big moments for them, anyways.
I'm sure.
I mean, just look at the Shield. They've been mostly decorated as well with World Championship wins as well, even though Dean Ambrose, in a sense, wasn't the best of them, to be fair. Then again, WWE handled John Moxley a little bit badly, so him leaving probably was the best thing that happens to him. And it kind of actually, in retrospect, made Roman and Seth better in hindsight.
More focused for sure.
Yeah. So Xavier one day getting that belt seems unlikely, but I don't think impossible. I hope Biggie at least recovers. Man, he's been off
Like
the.
everybody wants Biggie to recover.
Yeah, he's been
It
off
was
the.
a shame that he was cut short like that.
Yeah, hopefully he recovers sometime. Although with that neck injury, I hope it doesn't make it like he has to retire like Steve Austin for some time.
He's
Oh,
on the developmental, right? He's helping train people.
I actually don't know about that. Eh,
Yeah,
I
I
just know
googled him.
that he does stuff from time to time.
Yeah.
Okay, back from our rambling. Eh, Anyways, ah, whoops, I forgot that I'm not pressing the X button. That the A is not equivalent to the X button when comparing PlayStation and Nintendo controllers. Anyways,
February 24th, 1214, District Court. Courtroom number 9.
rabble, 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 rabble.
The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky.
Emma didn't come back.
Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. Witness, please state your name and occupation.
What the heck? I'm drinking? Me, partner? Well, I'm just some man, same as you, wandering the trails of civilization.
Occasionally helping the elderly cross intersections when needed. Yes, we get it. Oh, I know. You're a patrolman.
As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the holly wind calling it out.
Exact. It's Jake Marshall, Your Honor.
Holly wind? I've never heard it described that way before.
Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day the crime took place. Is this correct?
According to the papers, partner,
What do you mean?
the Desperado's soul is as boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up.
Maybe it's best we get on with this quickly. Please share with us the testimony of the day of the crime. In plain old English.
Day of the crime, partner. My job was to keep a wary eye in that bone orchard. They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was at a street-side saloon at the time it went down. I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail.
I can't say I particularly care for your attitude.
I can't say I care for your beer, but you don't see me complaining. Oh, Marshall. Wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems? I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. I reckon even a crowd poke like you know those. Well, yes, well, what about the fingerprint activated locks on the evidence lockers? Fingerprint activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those? It's not being very helpful.
He's not that good with machines or with following orders.
Everyone's got their weaknesses, now don't they, Mr. Prosecutor?
This one seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours.
I'll have to deal with that eventually. So, we got ourselves a little here contradiction with the piece of evidence and the statement. What statement do we have that contradicts with what evidence, partner?
We have his fingerprints in blood on the wall, right?
Yep,
That implies, right?
yep. That implies he was here at the evidence room, so... Objection! Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd? That is, you being called in here to testify like this? After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime, yet you dragged me down here. Explain yourself, partner. It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind you at the scene. Or to be exact, a handprint. That's a real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that grip. I pay my respects, that is. I make my rounds about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints would be in there. Objection! Oh, I only wish it were, officer. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood. Rebel, rebel, rebel. Rebel, 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 rebel.
Witness, what's the meaning of this? Your blood-stained fingerprints were at this crime scene?
The blood was wiped away. However, luminal tests clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall? It seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders.
I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall? About the blood-stained fingerprints? Very well. You may begin your testimony about your fingerprints. Found at the scene of the crime.
Hold on there, partner. Yeah, there we are. Alright, that might work. For now, at least. Right. Back to the blood-stained fingerprints. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the blood-stained handprints. The murderer touched the locker of my fingerprint just by chance. The bloodstain and the fingerprints are completely unrelated. Or didn't you know that the murderer was wearing gloves? See, I had nothing to do with it.
The witness's explanation appears valid, although there's room for doubt.
Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner.
The defense may now cross-examine the witness.
This guy's hiding something. I can feel it. Now's my chance to prove it. That's because how you put it, pay your respects once a month? Yeah, that's right. That and one more thing. That locker happens to be mine.
What? What do you mean?
I mean what I said. That's the locker I used when I was a detective. The locker I still use. All that's in there now is a heap of broken dreams. And a boulevard of broken dreams. I see. It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker. Currently, his fingerprint data was never removed from that locker's programming. He must have been using the fingerprint lock all this time without even knowing it. Updated in the court record. So then, what about the bloody handprints? Wasn't mine, and it's no mystery, partner.
Please explain.
My locker is covered with my fingerprints. It just so happens. The chances of that happening are 1,000,000 to 1. On the contrary, one could just argue just the opposite. The chances of that not happening are 1,000,000 to 1. The one thing's straight, partner. You ain't gonna get no reward for me with a mere fingerprint. Wanna know why? Unrelated. They're as different as night and day. Kinda like cereal and cereal. One's got to do with breakfast, while the other's a type of murder.
He's right. Although seemingly alike, they're both different.
I don't see what homonyms have to do with this. How do you know that? I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up with the reports.
The bloodstain at the scene, thought to be left by the murderer.
That's right. It was found on Detective Goodman's gumshoes locker. Not Goodman's.
However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint.
Oh yeah, I think we tried that too.
So that would mean the murderer, wearing gloves, happened to place their hand on top of Officer Marshall's handprint.
That's the only logical conclusion. Are you starting to get the picture, partner? The picture? This seal of blood in the desert is just food for the buzzards. There's only one reality, and that's this. Security tape. So long as my trail isn't there, you can't say otherwise.
This isn't going anywhere or getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully where you're going with this cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now then, continue your testimony, Officer Marshall.
Too bad it wasn't me in that video, Brad, partner. What do you mean by that? You want me to tie me into this crime, isn't that right, partner? If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have. Objection! But that video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots.
Blind spots?
Places you can't see. The camera's panning back and forth. The floor isn't shown. If someone was familiar with the camera's position, they could leave the room without being caught on tape.
Objection. We won't have time for your speculation, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright, if you can show us evidence in this video that indicates Officer Marshall is present, please do so now.
Very well. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall.
Tread carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might end up being the one making the mistake. Now then, let's have another look at the video. Show us this incriminating evidence of the witness, Officer James Marshall.
And pause. Huh. Bringing our attention back to the security camera. It's a mistake I'm afraid you'll soon not forget, Officer Marshall. Days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers. Could you sum up what you have to say in 8 words or less? Very well. You can clearly be seen in this video. You can clearly be seen in this video. That's definitely 8. Something 8 words. Not bad, partner. The key lies in a certain locker shown in the video.
That locker. The white cloth sticking out. That was the witnesses, I believe.
Now then, let us rewind the video a bit.
Oh, the white cloth. It's gone. What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall?
When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away.
Order, order. Please.
Hold your horses. Sorry, partner, but you got the wrong man. So what if my locker was open? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it. The murderer needed to hide something, so he opened the locker and stuck it in. It's not my fault he happened to choose mine. Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man? This guy isn't just plain dumb. He really doesn't know. I hate to rain on your parade, but this isn't Barbara Streisand. But you're the only person who can open that particular locker. Oh yeah? I call your bluff. You see I opened that locker? Now prove it. Duh.
Take that!
A fingerprint sensor. We talked about this earlier today. The lockers can only be opened by the detectives they belong to. What kind of crazy talk is this? Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this.
In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. Even some people on the force that don't know the fingerprint locks.
So, Sheriff, what do you have to say about this in 8 words or less? I'm eating beef jerky. Only got one word for you, partner. No!
Order, order, order. Witness, explain yourself.
This is a joke. It's the worst I've ever heard. I assure you, this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime.
Olay, please answer the question.
What is he now, a bullfighter? That's all right, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure out the rest from here.
We can?
Have a look at these floor plans. There's no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall.
If that's so, then where was the witness? Seems Mr. Wright has an answer.
That's right. The only possible conclusion.
Well then, let's hear it. It's V, right?
Yep.
Take
Take
that!
that! Officer Marshall was standing right here.
Then that's where... It's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was.
Nuh-uh. Correct, unless that man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in the video is Officer Marshall. So you dress up like Detective Goodman.
Objection!
Objection. That's preposterous. Officer Minkins witnessed the detective at the crime scene. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure.
Objection! May I point out, though, that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted. Blah, 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 blah. Ow, my ears. Something about the officer's story puzzled me. The man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it?
Yes, as he would have needed it to enter the evidence room. He must have been carrying it.
The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card.
Oh, I get it.
If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall? You've just got quite an imagination, partner. We got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence. Still denying it. You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective. Unless you have hard evidence proving dressed up as the victim.
I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition.
I can't say I care for your beer, but you don't see me complaining.
Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence proving beyond the shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim?
Well, who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that. I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems like you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat. This can't be happening. So obvious he's the one. What can he do?
It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed.
How dare you, Edgeworth? I have a lot of experience.
I'll pass on to you what someone once told me when I was starting out. When you've run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics.
The basics. For me, that would be what me used to tell me.
Phoenix, try thinking outside the box.
I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise. But rather, I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise.
why do you think this locker was opened in the first place? What do you mean? There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance it might be discovered later, as it has been.
Which means he didn't originally plan to open this locker.
According to the defense's arguments, Officer Jake Marshall dressed as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then, after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason. The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that. It opened in order to put the cloth inside. So, just what exactly is this piece of cloth?
Perhaps the video is the key to all our unanswered questions. We don't have any evidence, so this video is my only shot.
Very well. Let's take yet another look at the security tape. After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker to put away the white cloth. Please show us why the witness had to open his locker. Because Lincoln's had his hat.
Nope. And where are you? Ta-da!
Take that!
The blood. Silly. For some reason, you disguised yourself as Detective Goodman and entered the evidence room, though I don't know to what end yet. However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. Soiled it.
A white bloody coat?
You couldn't walk out like that, so you hid the coat in your own locker. Not bad, partner. Rabble.
Now then, Officer Marshall. Are you ready to tell us the truth?
Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're happy now, Miss Edgeworth. 2 years ago, if you were only half as persistent then as you are today, we all wouldn't have to be here now, would we? Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did, all of it. All right. It seems the time has come. Marshall's confession. I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID, just like him. Planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Mark Deakins. I knocked him out. Managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15.
So, the supposed victim was really you. But there's one thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be?
Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand. I guess he's the donor. It was way too much blood for such a small donation.
Hold it!
When you say it, you mean... Do you even have to ask, partner? Just on my incident.
2 years have passed since that case was closed. We're going to completely end with the transfer that day.
Not if I had anything to do with it. That incident's not over. But what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room? When a case is closed, only that case's lead detective can look through the evidence. Wanted to have a look at it myself one more time, no matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine. But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care so much about it? That day was my last chance. That's why,
Hold it!
Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman? If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transferal, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere. So
you did it to fool the security cameras. And the detective's ID card.
I saw that the morning of the incident. So that really was why Goodman started filling out that lost item report. I returned his ID card, left it on the floor in the prosecutor's office parking lot. The ID card I found was left by Officer Marshall.
So essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight.
What do you mean, partner?
I meant the fingerprint activated lock of yours, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker yourself.
But he could because the rubber glove just happened to get stuck in the door. That means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall.
Hold it!
You pulled the knife on Officer Beacons and tried to drive him off? Let's just say I was a little surprised. Only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time.
Officer Minkins certainly is one of a million type of person. Mistaking detective for an intruder and demanding to be shown his ID. I'll have to think a little bit more about his raise this year.
When did androids get so much influence? Anyway, he threw himself at me, and I ended up cutting him slightly. I'm sorry it had to turn out like that way. With me knocking him out and everything. By the way, what happened to your knife? Oh, you mean this one? I don't know what to say.
So you knocked Officer Minkins out and...
I managed to...
Hold it!
So you did your research beforehand. Those who go into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I didn't think it would make a difference, though. Security tape is raced every 6 hours. If all I had done as planned, no footage would have been left.
However, you bloodied your coat with the struggle with Officer Minkins.
If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. Opened my locker, stashed it in there. What was Officer Meekins doing during that time? What else? He was sleeping like a baby.
So what you're saying is, on that day,
But the blood found at the scene certainly indicates a crime took place. What are you, blind? The victim shown on that tape is me. Now I'm not dead yet, partner.
so you stole the evidence from the locker.
Actually, no I didn't.
Why not?
When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone.
What? Mr. Edgeworth, where is that evidence? It's still missing, Your Honor.
Detective Goodman's locker was already empty. Someone else stole the evidence. Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing? Fire away, partner. It's a free country, after all. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer. Why did you do this? Stealing the detective's ID card? Injuring a police officer? This is no small offense.
Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. Can't be forgiven with a simple cut in salary.
Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution. Like I said, this isn't your case, this one is mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with.
Witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more.
Let's see here. We never looked into this. Incident number SL9, perpetrator Joe Dark, crime serial murder, sentenced death, victims, Trail Zeta, head prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, witnesses Lana Emma Sky, investigation task force, executive investigator Sam McGinn, Lana Sky, and investigators Chris Goodman, investigators Jake Marshall, Angel Starr, victims Edward Jones, Edith Kirby, Jeff Bates, Jason Knight, Rachel Moss. There's Neil Marshall.
Conflict of interest.
Objection!
Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident. Sounds like you've been sipping up too much cactus juice, partner. I have the SL9 incident file here. The name Marshall is mentioned in here. In a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall. Are you related to this man?
Neil Marshall?
Yeah, I'm sure you've heard the name. 2 years ago, you received the same lousy prosecutor award you got.
What? A prosecutor?
You must be talking about the Keenan Prosecutor's Award.
Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall handled the SL9 case before I did.
That's right. He was killed. And the case fell into your hands.
But what's his relation to you?
He was my brother. He was investigating the murders with Damon Gant, the then Deputy Chief of Police. The group of detectives I was part of worked under him. We were desperate to prosecute the killer. Joe Dark. My brother thought Darkin was killed. That was the first time Dark left behind any evidence. That was all we needed. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed. At least according to the public records.
What do you mean?
My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight.
And that's it? That's your reason for the insane actions?
There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me.
Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now that we know what happened at the police department on the day of the crime, that was the day the SL9 case could be reopened. Not satisfied with his resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence.
Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled.
Yes, the truth and the mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place in the police department that day. The things that happen by chance never cease to amaze. Exactly the same time as the murder at the prosecutor's office, the fake murder was going on at the police department.
Chance? It's just gotta be more than just that.
So, if no one is murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's parking lot was the real one. Which in turn means only one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky.
Objection! But wait, verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial.
Objection!
Objection. Which is why we examine the incident at the police department today.
But
There's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained the mystery of this simultaneous murder at the police department.
seems to me, this boy's got the draw on you, partner.
All the mysteries of the police department have been resolved. No doubt about it. Our sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Sky. And the testimony of one Miss Angel Starr is completely uncontestable. If you have a response, make it a single word or less.
Arg.
I rest my case. It seems the trial has reached its conclusion. There is no room for doubt. Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time disproving the alleged murder at the police department.
There's no doubt what I proved today is true. The parent murder on the security camera's tape really was fake, but I didn't realize that would end up proving Lana guilty.
Now then, time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant
Hold it! Your Honor, wait! Emma, the defense has an objection. Scientific objection. Right? What do you mean, right?
Mr. Wright. Are you this girl's guardian?
Your Honor? Oh, in a sense. Please, Mr. Wright. Please, Your Honor. All I'm asking is for a minute of your time. Please hear me out. Mr. Edgeworth, please.
I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute? I'll give you 3.
I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out the SO9 incident referred to Joe Dark killings. I thought she mentions it. The names of both Sky sisters were in that file. That's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew his fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. There left only one thing. the other handprints.
The traces of blood found on Detective Gumshoe's locker. But no fingerprints were found on it, right?
No, but I figured that if I examined it scientifically, it'd be sure to find a clue. So I ran over there and looked at it again. So did he find something? No. Huh? Sorry. I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all. Is that all? Please don't be mad. I'm just a high school student. I'm just an attorney. But Mr. Wright, those traces of blood are the only clue we have. If we can't find anything wrong with them, please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. So, if anyone can save Lana, it's you. Oh boy.
Time's up. Now then, Mr. Wright. With regard to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain? It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. Looking at the floor plan, a handprint was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this?
Mr. Wright, I'm sorry I can't be of more use. But still, if you can't find anything wrong with that blood mark, Lana will be...
Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day.
Yes, Your Honor. If ever I needed to concentrate, it's now. What could be wrong with that handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker? Could there be something I'm missing? I object.
Objection!
This handprint left at the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction.
Only one thing seems clear, is your grasping. The only thing that seems clear is what you're grasping, Mr. Wright. You've been staring pretty intently at those floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them?
Yes, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans. Something is missing.
Missing? You mean something hasn't been drawn on them?
Yes. Something that, when drawn, will completely change the meaning of the blood mark.
Let us pray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time. Very well, Mr. Wright.
With all this evidence here, there's gotta be something I can use.
Question is, which item can prove something is missing in the floor plan? It is the Blue Badger.
Take that, Officer Marshal. What about that piece of plywood? The Blue Badger, mascot of the police force. Defender of truth, guardian of proof.
Explain yourself, Mr. Wright.
Please look at the floor plans of the crime scene. The Blue Badger is not here. So watch what happens when we put him in, duh. This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime.
Well, what?
That's right. So as long as the Blue Badger is dancing here, it would be impossible to place an imprint at this spot on the locker. What?
So that means, what exactly does that mean?
It means it can't be done.
What do you say? Blood traces were undeniably found on that locker.
Don't look at me, I didn't put it there. Mr. Wright, think through it scientifically. Emma, on that afternoon, Officer Meekins was the one who brought the Blue Badger to the evidence room. room, right? After you put it down, it would have been impossible to leave your handprint on that locker. So that must mean this blood mark was left there before the Blue Badger was brought in.
Just one moment. I will not allow such far-fetched balderdash in my courtroom.
It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor, like a certain Pokemon, but it's the only possible explanation. On February 21st, in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once but twice.
But how?
One time was captured on this tape, taken by the security camera. Officer Meekins cut his hand from which a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is, the other time. Looking at this video, someone bled prior to the struggle shown in this tape. It had to have been Detective Goodman when he was really murdered.
Objection. That's ridiculous. I refuse to accept your absurd claim.
Objection! The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be a fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found on the locker.
Objection!
Objection. So then, assuming this murder before it really happened, why, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence that proves when it occurred.
When did the first incident occur?
To summarize the defense. The defense claims that prior to Officer Meekins being cut by Jake Marshall, who was posing as Detective Goodman, another incident took place in that evidence room.
That's right. The blood mark on the locker proves this.
Very well. Tell us. When did this first incident occur? As Mr. Edwards said, proof must be presented.
Proof that shows when the murder took place. There's only one piece of evidence I can show that.
Now then, will the defense please present its evidence? What shows when this first crime took place?
What kind of evidence would show when people would go into the room?
The entry report.
Right.
The log. 77777.
If the crime took place inside that evidence room, then the killer would have had to enter it. And in order to do so, an ID card would have been required.
An ID card? Oh, the ID card.
Officer Meekins brought the Blue Badger panel into the evidence room at...
Let's see here. 4:50 p.m. If the crime took place before that, then it would be 4:40. Ah. Aha. Miles Edgeworth? Just what have you done?
I never would have figured you had the nerve, boy.
Drop the act, witness. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure it out. It couldn't have been me.
Nope, I ain't getting it.
I'm afraid I don't understand either. It's clear from the luminoid test that the blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Minkins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood.
That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer.
I would have had just 10 minutes to murder the victim and carry his body away. And clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible. That would mean crime must have taken place before Mr. Edgeworth entered the evidence room.
Let's look at the chart again. There's only one other card number remaining. 777. Talk about a lucky number, partner.
But wait, that doesn't make sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room?
Since there's no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with 777.
Mr. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number is 77. 777. That's 17 too many. Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID card. At least at present.
What? Explain yourself, son.
That ID number 7777 belongs to someone with the rank of captain or higher. Someone who's so-called executive officer. We don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity.
Objection! But that's ridiculous. Just how?
I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. There is one situation where we can be granted such authority. If an official charge filed in executive is accepted.
An official charge? You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor's office operates.
Objection. I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate it if you would keep your slander to yourself.
Slander, is it? Okay, let me ask you a question.
Yes?
No, not to you. To her, the defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive. Lana?
Objection. Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course we've looked up her ID number. And it's not 7777777.
Don't play me for a fool, partner. That's not what I want to ask. What I want to know is one thing about that incident.
The SO9 incident.
Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. That trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence?
You need the witness to repeat this question, Chief Prosecutor. I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for that trial. At the time, occasionally we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least I did.
Lana,
I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime within the law. But before I realized it, we were the ones being suppressed by the law. Defendant, just what are you saying?
I'll ask once again, Chief Prosecutor. During that trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in court? Can you look me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye and say that you did?
Chief Prosecutor, you didn't. I don't have to, Officer Marshall. Why won't you answer him? Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to do in order for him to get the verdict he deserved.
But Lana...
even if it involved forging evidence.
Dane. See? That's what I'm talking about.
No. No. Order. 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 Order.
Honest remark, on such a stir, the chaos in the courtroom could not be quelled. The conclusion of the trial will have to wait until the following day. To be continued. Oh, that was a little bit shorter than I expected it to be. Alright, so let's take a break until 4:30 p.m. and
Okay.
we'll just get on to the last 30 minutes of the
Always
streams.
the final day.
Well, the final investigation and then the final trial.
Yep.
I think we're going to finish this tomorrow if things are going according to plan.
More than likely, yeah.
Yep. All right. Oh, wait. The final trial's extremely long. I forgot about that. Well, we'll see and play it by ear, but for now, let's take a little bit of a break.
Okay.
Usually before I do anything.
So it looks like Jake Marshall is not the
Hold
murderer.
on a moment.
Yep.
Is there two? All right, I think I got it. So the only thing that I should hear would be from the speakers of Discord now. I mean, on Discord. So can you just talk for a moment?
I can hear you.
All right. I'm just making sure that the only actual audio audio from Discord or whatever is coming from just only one place now instead of like
Yep.
a bajillion. So I
Makes
don't
it
have I don't
nice.
have to worry about like ever like taking care of taking care of sound issues on my behalf because it's been actually I have actually fixed the issue now. Gosh.
Sounds good.
Alright. Now back to where we were on gameplay wise.
February 24th, 3:12 p.m. Wright & Co. Law Offices.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. So sorry. I'm sorry for what my sister said.
Drastic crimes require drastic measures.
Fabrication, forgery. I didn't know. I never knew that the SO9 incident was just another name for the Joe Dark killings. Seems like everyone's heard about these killings but me. Lana wanted Dark convicted so badly. That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me. What do you mean what happened to you? It's all there in the file. Joe Dark's last victim was prosecutor Neil Marshall. When he murdered Officer Neil Marshall's brother, he left behind an incriminating piece of evidence. But what did you have to do with those killings, Emma? On the night prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered, Joe Dark tried to kill me. What? He tried to kill you? Officer Marshall's brother, Neil, was only trying to save me. So that means you. Yes. I was a witness in the Joe Dark trial. I didn't see that one coming. It happened 2 years ago. It was right around about this time of the year, too. There was a terrible thunderstorm that day, unusual for the season. I was alone in my sister's office. We were planning to eat dinner together once she finished her work. Then suddenly, this terrifying man came bursting into the office. Joe Dark. It seems like he was running from someone. He pulled out a knife and screamed at me. I didn't know what was going on. Just then, Prosecutor Marshall showed up. Big Marshall's brother. Joe Dark tried to take me hostage, but before he could, Mr. Marshall tackled him. Then, what happened? I'll never forget. Lightning struck, and the lights went out. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning flashed outside the window, lighting up the office for an instant. What I saw then burned a permanent picture in my mind. I can still see it now. Permanent picture? What did you see in that incident of the crime that occurred? Dark knocked down Mr. Marshall and raised his knife. Neil Marshall was stabbed right in front of this poor girl. I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently I passed out. Aww. When I came to, Lana was cradling me in her arms. Poor Emma. You've been through so much. I couldn't bring myself to testify about that incident. I tried, but the words just wouldn't come out. Drew a picture, but it wasn't any good. 2 years ago. You must have been 14. That's understandable. Once it was all over, I made up my mind. I decided when I grew up, I'd become a scientific investigator. I want to be able to fight crime with my testimonies and find the evidence to make an airtight case. That way, Lana would never have to forge any. I see. I think I'm finally starting to understand what makes Emma tick. But there's still something that bothers me about that crime. I don't remember the moment when Dark stabbed Marshall. Mr. Marshall. So you weren't able to testify about that? No, I was only asked about when I was attacked. That must be why Lana, why she made up the crime. Made it up? You mean provided bogus evidence? The prosecutor's office wanted that guilty verdict so badly. Lana forged the evidence, and Mr. Edgeworth used it. Edgeworth? Yes, but I'm sure he didn't know anything about it. He couldn't have known it was being given false evidence. Even so, that's when it all started. Rumors about Mr. Edgeworth, it's all my fault. If I could have just testified properly, none of this would have happened. So it's true, even though he may have not known about it. Edgeworth really was involved in falsifying evidence. After that case ended, Lana was never the same. She became cold, like she is today. She must not have been able to face up what she did, especially not to Emma. There's something that's puzzling me, Emma. What is it? You said you were in Lana's office at that time, right? That's right. Why then would a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, but he was being chased by a prosecutor? Oh, there's no mystery there. Joe Dark had been taken in for questioning that day. Taken in for questioning? You mean by the police? Of course. This happened at the police department. He tried to run away halfway through the interview and fled into my sister's office. Well, why would he run away all over to your sister's office? Because the detective's office in the questioning room, right across from the elevator. What? Across from the elevator? But Lana was the chief prosecutor, wasn't she? No, silly. Didn't I tell you? 2 years ago, Lana was a detective. Ah. She was the best in the entire force. What? That's news to me. After the Joe Dark case, she was transferred to the prosecutor's office and made chief prosecutor. Lana used to be detective? I better have another talk with her. On to her we go.
February 24th, Detention Center, Visitors Room.
Hey there. Lana.
Mr. Wright, it seems I keep causing you trouble.
Falsifying evidence. I didn't think you were the type.
Criminals don't mind playing foul, why should we?
But Lana, if you're wrong, an innocent person might have been found guilty.
Believe me, I understand the risks.
Lana, Emmett told me about you.
Oh?
About how you were a detective 2 years ago. Now, the SL9 incident was the reason for your transfer to the prosecutor's office.
That's right.
Could you fill me in on the details, especially about that unusual change of jobs?
I suppose you have a right to know, Mr. Wright.
A lot of revelations were uncovered at the trial today, not the least of which was the fact that this case is largely connected to another one 2 years ago.
Evidence from that case was stolen as well, though I expected as much. I know about how obsessive Officer Marshall can be.
That trial really wasn't fair, was it? I believed in you, Lana. I believed that no matter what happens, you'd always stick to the truth.
It couldn't be helped, Emma. On that trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul.
Well, all that drama aside, the fact of the matter is, at 5:15 there was no murder at the police. At 5:15 there was no murder at the police department. Tell me it's not true, Lana, what the witness, Miss Starr, said about you stabbing Mr. Goodman with the knife. Lana, I just don't understand. Why won't you tell us?
Emma, this doesn't involve just me.
I don't think I've ever seen Lana look so faced before.
It's true, I was a member of the police force 2 years ago.
She was amazing. They still talk about the cases she and Chief Gant cracked together. Chief Gant?
He was the deputy chief of police back then. He still worked the crime scenes. Damon Grant, he was everything I aspired to be.
They were the best team ever. They solved crimes before even the reports could be filed. Emma really idolizes her big sister. But now you're chief prosecutor. What happened?
I always planned on becoming a prosecutor. The reason I became a detective was
To gain experience investigating crime scenes so you could use that experience in court, right?
Grant's help in the SL9 case was crucial to its resolution. After that, he became chief of police and arranged my transfer to the prosecutor's office.
Maybe I should ask more about this investigation of theirs 2 years ago.
2 years ago, I was second in command of the detectives investigating Dark.
Second in command? That means the investigation lead was Damon Gant, right?
Yes, Deputy Chief Gant and I shared the same office and the same investigation.
They even had the same office.
We led a team of the best detectives on the force. Detective Goodman, whose case was Jake Marshall and Angel Starr. It was the first time Marshall worked with his brother. He was quite gung-ho. Without a doubt, Joe Dark was the serial killer. We asked him to come in for questioning. We were desperate for evidence. That was when his final murder took place.
When he tried to murder Emma. Prosecutor Marshall was trying to save me from Dark.
You see, the first person who happened upon the scene of the crime was me.
Now you tell us.
Damon Gant and Neil Marshall were ones questioning Drake that day.
Dark.
The investigation was in its final stages, and Dark must have suddenly panicked. So he waited until Gant and Marshall let their guards down, then fled the room. From there, he ran straight to the office shared by Deputy Chief Gant and myself.
That's where he found me. So you were the first person to run to the scene, Lana?
It appears so. I was filing some papers while Gant and Marshall were questioning Dark. When I returned to my office, I saw 3 bodies on the floor and smelled blood.
3 bodies?
Prosecutor Marshall, the victim
hold
Emma.
on. That'd be me.
Yep.
Prosecutor Marshall, the victim, Emma, who had passed out.
And the suspect, Joe Dark. During the struggle, it seems Mr. Marshall struck a final blow before he died. Joe Dark had incurred a minor concussion and lay unconscious.
What did you do?
To be honest, I panicked. I picked up Emma, carried her out of the room, and just held her.
Can't blame her after all her sister must have gone through.
After that, I placed Dark under immediate arrest.
let me get this straight. You were all involved in the SL9 incident.
That's right. Quite a coincidence, hmm?
I don't buy it. What are you saying? There's no way everyone involved in this trial was also involved in that incident. Just by chance. Why, that case was solved 2 years ago. At least one person went to extremes because they didn't believe it was truly solved.
Officer Marshall. Yes, his actions came as a surprise to me as well. Ever since his brother died, he's changed completely.
I guess he wasn't convinced with ruling against. I guess he wasn't convinced with ruling against Joe Dark.
Life doesn't end with the closing of a case. Everyone has to live the rest of their lives with their memories.
That case just might not be over yet. Emma was assaulted by Dark at the police department, right?
Yes, in the office that Damon and Gant and I share. The office that Mr. Gant now occupies by himself. The chief's office.
Maybe we should have a look at the chief's office, the site of the final SL9 murder.
February 24th, police station, criminal affairs department.
I don't see Detective Gumshoe anywhere. Things seem kind of quiet around here today. You're right. The chief of detectives seems the same, though. Why don't we go look for some other people to talk to? Right. We can come back here later.
February 24th, police department entrance.
Howdy, Bambina. Oh, Mr. Marshall. I never thought things turned out this way when I woke up this morning. Hey, Sarah. Whatever will be, will be. Our future's not ours to see. Hey, Sarah. What will be, will be. You never know where life will lead you, eh, Bambina? I should have known my luck had run out when old Billy dried up this morning. Billy? Must be his pet cactus. Say, where are you headed? Just over to the prosecutor's office for a little interrogation. Just a voluntary appearance. But we all know I won't be coming back. Sorry, but you can't go into the evidence room today, partner. Mr. Marshall, why did you do it? Why do you prospectors head west? If there ever was a case I needed to know the truth about, it was that one. Before you turn yourself in, Mr. Marshall, would you mind telling us what exactly happened? Looks like I won't be getting a steak lunch today. Something was fishy about that trial from the beginning. It wasn't just me either. All the detectives thought so. What do you mean fishy? Some of the facts reported were inconsistent with the evidence we found. For example, the murder weapon. A murder weapon? You mean the switchblade knife with a broken tip? That was Joe Dark's all right. But in the initial autopsy report, the question was raised. The question? The blade of the knife was not a perfect match with the wound the victim sustained. What does that mean? It means that there's a good chance that the knife was not the murder weapon. However, in the report that was finally submitted, the possibility had been erased. But the facts have been concealed with forged evidence? The case left behind scars on all of us. Scars that the SO9 incident left behind. I got the looks, but he got the brains. He was one of the best prosecutors around. I had just made detective when it went down. It was our first case together. How old was he, your brother? I was 27 at the time. An unlucky number, to be sure, when it comes to suit unaliving, to be sure. I was awarded the highest honor that very day. The highest honor? You mean the King of Prosecutors? I knew it. What are you looking at me like that for? What are you looking at me like that for? It's an honor for a prosecutor. Mr. Marshall must have really been close with his brother. The day of the S Online incident took place. That wasn't the same day as. That's right. It was the day of the evidence transferal. Interesting. It was drizzling that morning, and by nightfall there was thunder. Can't believe 2 years ago have gone by already. Tried to steal the evidence so the case wouldn't die. Apparently someone tried to stop you. Detective Goodman was murdered, and the evidence locker was empty. There was something going on behind the scenes in that case. We all knew that later. Every detective involved in that investigation, save one, was taken care of. This star was fired, and I was demoted and boxed away in a tiny room. What about Detective Goodman? If they did something to him, too, the commissioners would get suspicious. No, they were careful enough not to be too obvious. They... Who are you talking about? Don't get upset, Bambina. I mean, Damon Gant and Lana Sky. The investigation lead, Damon Gant, and his second-in-command, Lana Sky. There was a person on the force who hadn't heard of that duo. That case was the biggest step in both of their careers. After the case ended, Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office, right? Yeah, Damon Gant, the new chief of police, arranged for that to happen. She's never been the same since she left. Huh? Everyone who knew her said so. Chief Prosecutor Scott was totally different when she was a detective. Now that he mentions it, I must have said something like that too. Tell me, what happened to my sister? Sorry, Bambina, but her secret is too well guarded. I never found out. On a secret. It all started 2 years ago. So there you have it. That's my story. Did you enjoy it, partner? It was certainly enlightening. It was certainly enlightening. There's one thing for sure I found out in court today. That boy Edgeworth isn't my enemy. It was the one who used falsified evidence to get a guilty verdict. But someone else was the one who gave him that evidence and explained everything. That someone is Damon Gant. Don't believe me? Well, I don't blame you. I won't even be a patrolman after today. I love that little sound effect. Too bad I won't be around to work with you when you become a real scientific investigator. Adios, Bambina. That's the last time we'll see of that cowboy. Okay, so I think that's a perfect time to investigate this. And actually, I'll just go back to the Criminal Affairs Department and do a little stuff before we actually end.
February 24th, Police Department, Criminal Affairs.
This place is always pretty empty, but today it's deserted. That must mean everybody's busy solving crimes. Oh, it's you. Oh, if you're looking for the others, they're all in the conference room. Thanks. Oh, he's actually started talking to us. With the chief prosecutor saying what she did and the decision about what to do about Mr. Edgeworth, not to mention our statement to the media in tomorrow's trial. There's more chaos going on than Thanksgiving and Christmas put together. I think Festivism were usually used for those. Sir, I'd like to have a look around Chief Gant's office. Just use the connecting hallway to the other building and take the elevator to the top floor. Really? You mean it's okay for us to go in there? I mean, we aren't police officers or anything. Hey, you're right. You can't go in there. It's off limits. Now I see where Detective Gumshoe gets his unique charm. Oh, what are we waiting for? Let's head to the chief's office.
February 24th, Police Department, Chief's Office.
Look at the size of that organ. Wow, it is huge.
Yep.
Anyways, now this is where I would like to end the session, and we will get back to tomorrow.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, so this has been Dry Oasis. I've been your host, and these have been my two co-hosts, Kirby and Snorlax. Say goodbye to the audience, Kirby and Snorlax. Hi-yo! And always joining us for this weekend will be Fuzzy Cow. Fuzzy Cow, would you like to say anything else to the audience?
Have a good one. Looking forward to the finishing this case next time.
Yep. I think we might be at the end of the case tomorrow, but I'm not but depending on stuff, I'm not entirely sure if it will be ending tomorrow or the next time, but because the this last investigation might be short, but the trial is long. Not sure if we're going to do any pedal to the metal when it comes to any kind of if we have to go over the lot of timers. So not sure how you would feel about that.
Well, we'll play it by ear.
All right. I'll tell you how close we are. So yeah. Anyways, see y'all later, and I hope you have a great stay. And if not, I hope the rest of your day has been better, or tomorrow will be for you. So see y'all later. Bye bye.